I haven't done these in a while. This is a work in progress at where we're going with HAX 26. I know we just came out with 25, but we've got a team working on this stuff now, and AI certainly helps. So, this is a preview of HAX 26, which is taking a lot of inspiration from Something Docs. Now, Something Docs is very useful for making documents, absolutely. But we want to turn web development and web building into the same type of feel. So we look through prototype. I land on this. It's not a prototype. It's the next version. If I wanted to make an online course, I'd select it. It automatically has set me in motion for if I went down the screen to click that. I could call it online course, but we're already highlighted. We'll call it like BTO Pro Road Show. Cool. All right, and then we'll go to our site. And so the big deal in HAX 25 is it brings in this concept of skeletons. Now, what skeletons do is allow us to ship the site and the content and the scaffold and the settings. So we have a team working on more of those skeletons, those use cases, site template, whatever you want to think of it as. So let's focus back on that screen though. So now that I've made the roadshow, right, I could remember that is roadshow or that it was a course, right? So there's some better filtering here. Last time something was updated or ordered by theme name, stuff like that. Right, and I can scroll through these. All right, let's see the card for them. Then as we come down, we see there's more templates than just the three up there, right? So working on like a documentation site, building a resume, creating a university laboratory. It's very hard to make a university laboratory. All right, I've already made the university laboratory. And if you want to learn about how the lab works, this is where we would go and fill in that information. Right? And so I'd probably put in a video and then I'd start to communicate about the lab. Also, the design is reacting to the theme that it's in. This is something that we're starting to work on with HAX 26 as well. So what do I mean? So save, we've got that design there, and go under the hood for a minute here. Polaris. Oh, that's the Flex theme. Never mind, we don't have it in there. My bad. That would be in the Invent theme. Polaris Invent theme. Very difficult to switch over to that one, obviously. The Invent theme. Ah, there it is. Data palette is 8. So we switched it to 2, and these palettes are very much in development still. That the content is reacting to the palette change. Alyssa's doing a pretty awesome job with the palette work. And so, right, palettes are still in development, how they all play with different designs to ensure that everything's accessible. But, yeah, that one clearly not quite there on number 5. Ooh, yes, violent pink, love it, right? This is mostly demonstrating the potential here, right? So we're not actually setting the design in the element. It's what we've done historically is that you would hit edit, you go and we then start to go through configuring, and there might be some design sorts of treatments here, color settings, whatnot. Instead of setting that on the video is reacting to where it lives. So if we changed or added a setting for setting the palette, starts to come across the design. It's more than just this design that's starting to take on palettes, but this one has it built in initially. Yeah, that is just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not actually set that way because I just hacked the DOM. So there we go. It's back to what it was. Another major aspect with the work being done in 26 has to do with exporting. And so 25 implemented this. Now it's like this hidden setting. Maybe talked about it once, but if I do export site skeleton, we're starting to work towards being able to customize how the platform works for the user. So imagine, I don't like that there's heading 4s. Like I just don't need those, right? So that we could disable heading 4s. Or I don't need the license, stuff like that, right? That we could actually go and disable the things that we don't need to take some of the bloat out of the interface options. I forget which one of these. He's still working on this. Winston's still working on that part, hence work in progress. Right, but first comes quantifying every single one of these, right? What are all of them? You could disable video, GIF. We could turn off the ability to add blocks, or the page structure or view source, right, that shows up. Searching online, adding pages, outline designer, all this. You can basically envision that you can use the platform to build this cookie cutter templated scaffoldy thing of the names that these things must be, the colors that must be used, the types of content you can add, and you can actually set the experience level of the user to novice. It's something we're working on as well. And then that we would download those settings. So what we're working on now is getting those settings captured, got that, but then the UX pattern of getting them back into the site itself. And so digging into the settings, there we go. So for example, if these settings, these platform features, which has captured the audience and also said, you don't allow any blocks, like you just disabled all the non-core ones, dude. So capturing those settings and actually writing those back to the site JSON, we could read that off and craft the experience for you so that it has less functionality. So I'm going to pause it if you can change the audience, but if you could change the audience to novice, let's see if it works. It got part of the way there. So I'm gonna have to log in another window and basically modify that. Let me hit pause for a second. All right, so what I did in that time away is pull this file up correctly to manipulate, right? So we've got platform settings here, and what I've done is I took the JSON blob and I just put it in here. Now imagine we're gonna have a UI that just does that for us very soon. So the site has loaded, the site has been told that it has less functionality. It's kind of weird. But as a result, when I go to edit, there's less buttons. So I can't view source in this mode that I've put the site in. And the editing experience is dramatically simplified. I can't go and drag and drop these around. I can only work within headings and things that already exist. Right? So in this mode, we are intentionally limiting the operations to just the things the user should be focused on. So if you imagine this is this template, I've filled it out for, like, there's a 5-page splash site for every university lab. Think of HAX Lab, for example. I want to market HAX Lab or just talk about what we do, who works there. It's pretty much the same site all the time, over and over and over again. What we can do is set that experience in motion, then go through, limit the features, and then save that as a template. Once we've saved that as a template, then it would show up on our dashboard of available templates as we list here. These are the skeletons of the system. But then we would have a new one here called University Lab or Limited Lab or whatever the heck it is. And then when I start with that, it would actually start the site with the theme, design, content, data structure, limit the blocks, limit the editing experience, and remove the noise. So I'm working within this cookie cutter. This is basically allowing us to create these molds so that we can shape the system for very specific sorts of use cases. HAX has always been engineered to be anything. Anything is great for a developer and overwhelming for an end user. So now it's time to start cookie stamping all those anythings into awesome edible shapes. Let's build a ubiquitous web for everyone.